Well, the big date this week is the comprehensive spending review, when we'll get a better idea from government about what resources are likely to be available, and we really need 3 years certainty, because year to year is very difficult to plan and it's not efficient. So we get that, we put that together with the estimates from the different departments about how much they're going to need to save and how they can save money, and then there's a draft that's then discussed internally with councillors from the other parties, some of the proposed savings, then a draft budget in December, and then finally and that's sort of open for consultation with the unions, and finally in February there's Budget Council where the decisions are made and parties will come with their amendments. But fundamentally, to lead on to your second point, is we're facing a really difficult round this year. The estimates change. It's dangerous to use numbers, but at the moment we're looking, could be £18 million short, which is an awful lot to make up. Yeah. Now this will change from month to month, and hopefully it will get a bit better. But it's an incredible challenge, and that comes on top of over 100 million cuts through austerity in previous years. So we're not talking about, sort of trimming, for the first time around. The local authorities have had year on year on year, and we thought it was ending, but it's still going on, really. Yeah, and we don't know where we're going to be, do we, in February? I mean, obviously at the moment we don't have another lockdown. The Plan B's not been activated, so yeah. It's going to be an uncertain few months, isn't it? I would say. It certainly is. There's, last year we had an even bigger gap, and the government came good in terms of covering a lot of that. So fair play there. But there's no contingency money for lockdown now, and there's the pressure on adult social care costs, which is a national issue. Every year that really drives and that pressure to keep up with that drives council spending, and unfortunately, makes it very, very difficult to set a balanced budget. Yeah. So how can you raise money then? Is there any ways that you can raise extra funds in the future, or is there any way that can change the picture between now and February? Yeah, really good question. So the government will, in the past, have always had a cap, and then you have to have a referendum, which you might not win. Yeah. Particularly, people are going to vote for paying much higher council taxes. Last year, we were allowed to do an extra couple of % for adult social care. We might be able to again this year, though it was supposed to be over 2 years. So we're hopeful that cap might be a bit higher. So that's the most straightforward thing is council tax, and we are seeking to protect the lowest income households with council tax reductions schemes. The other way we can raise money is through fees and charges, and people will know that kind of in the past parking costs have gone up across the city, and that's one of the few levers we've got. Social care, so that's a big spend, isn't it, for the council? The biggest spend is, people think it's like, refuse collection and bins, etc. It's actually social care. It's a big challenge, isn't it? It is. It's the big pressure. That's the one that we've got to find a way of meeting that demand, and probably, the government has recognised it. They've come up with the national insurance increases, mostly for the health service to start off with, but eventually some of it will filter through to social care, but a lot of it will filter through to protecting people who would otherwise have had to pay for it out of their wealth, basically. So I'm not clear how much that will benefit at our level, and I certainly don't expect it to in the next couple of years in any significant way. Yeah, it's difficult, is it? So what else do you think could be done with the social care aspect to it? A lot of it's not in your hands, is it? It's a national government led decision, really, isn't it, about how that's funded? The bigger picture, at least.
Yeah, and the pressures, the pressures of an ageing population are inevitably, that's not the only sort of social care, but that's going to carry on. I think as a council, we've got to try and learn from other councils, what's worked well in other places, and try and replicate that. But fundamentally, we need government money, to cover it, and we need it now. We don't need it possibly, sort of in 3 years' time or something like that.